Tonight, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to fix anything or solve anything or become anyone different than who you already are. There is nowhere you need to get to before you're allowed to rest. You've arrived already just by lying down, just by being here at the end of another long day. So let your shoulders drop a little. Let the weight of your head sink fully into the pillow. And if your mind feels crowded tonight, thought against thought, wall to wall, no gap anywhere to breathe in, you don't have to clear any of it away. We're not going to fight the crowd tonight. We're going to do something much stranger and much gentler. We're going to look for the spaces between. Because here's the promise of this whole night, and I'll make it right now plainly so it can be quietly proving itself while everything else unfolds. Your mind is not actually full. It has never been full. Between every thought you've ever had and the next one, there is a gap, a little clearing, a moment of pure, quiet room, and there always has been, thousands of them tonight alone. You don't notice them. Almost nobody does. The mind glides over its own silences the way it glides over the blinks of your eyes, stitching everything into one seamless roar. But the spaces are there. They're there right now, opening and closing between these very words. And the quiet you've been chasing all these loud nights, the peace you assumed you'd have to build or earn or wrestle your thoughts into giving you, lives in exactly those gaps, already made, already yours, closer than any thought has ever been. Tonight, we're going to visit them. Not by forcing the mind to stop. You know by now that forcing only adds to the crowd. We'll go the soft way, learning where the spaces hide, how to feel the edges of them, how they widen on their own when someone finally notices them, until the gaps grow longer than the thoughts and the room opens up and you slip through one of those quiet clearings into sleep itself, which is, as we'll see, the widest space of all. If this is the kind of quiet you come here for, you're always welcome to stay a while and to come back on the nights you need a softer place to land. But you don't need to do anything with that right now. Right now there's only this. The dark room, the sound of my voice, and all those little silences between my words, arriving already, one by one, like the first stars coming out. Let's start with the strangest fact of the night, the one hiding in plain sight behind your own eyes. You blink all day long, many times a minute, and each blink plunges you into darkness for a measurable little while. Added up, you spend a surprising portion of every waking day with your eyes closed. And yet, the world never goes dark, does it? You have never once watched a conversation flicker like an old film. The mind quietly edits the blinks out, stitches the before to the after so smoothly that you live your entire visual life under the impression of one continuous, unbroken stream. The darkness is there, arriving on schedule, over and over. You're simply never shown it. Now understand, the mind does exactly the same thing with its thinking. The feeling that your thoughts run in one solid, wall-to-wall stream, that the noise never stops, that there's no gap in the traffic from waking to sleep. That feeling is an edit. It's the blink stitching applied to the inside. In reality, thought comes in pulses. A thought arises, plays out, and ends, actually ends. And there is a moment, sometimes brief as a blink, sometimes generously longer, of nothing at all, before the next one gathers itself and begins. Pulse, gap, pulse, gap, all day, all night, your whole life. The gaps are as real as the thoughts, as frequent as faithful. But the mind, master editor, splices thought end to thought start and hands you the finished film, seamless, relentless, exhausting. You've been watching the edit for so long you've mistaken it for the footage. Tonight you get to see the footage, and the way in is almost embarrassingly simple. You just watch a thought end. Not fight it, not shorten it, just accompany one all the way to its finish, the way you'd watch a wave complete itself on sand. Take whatever thought is passing right now, and instead of leaping to the next one the way the editor wants, stay at the end. Feel the thought close, feel its last word land, and then don't move. Stay in the little dark that follows. There, that beat of nothing before the next thought forms, that's it. That's the space. It was never hidden. It was only ever skipped, the way the blinks are skipped. And the moment you stop skipping it, it's simply there, quiet as a held breath. No achievement required, because you didn't make it. You only, finally, attended it. It will close again, of course. The next thought will come, they always come, and the editor will try to resume the splice. That's fine. This isn't a war, and you don't have to hold the gap open with effort. Effort is just another thought crowding in. All night, the gaps will keep arriving on their own, thousands more before morning. Each one an offered clearing, and every single one you notice will seem, strangely, a little wider than the last. That's not imagination. Noticed space relaxes. Attention, when it stops chasing, is like a person stepping back in a crowded room, and the room, given even that little courtesy, begins to open. So that's the first secret, and it changes the whole night's arithmetic. You are not wall to wall. You never were. Between every brick of thought, there was always mortar made of silence, and a mind looked at honestly turns out to be at least half made of gaps. You've been living in a house with more windows than walls and never once looking through them. Tonight, we look through them. Slowly, one small dark pane at a time, while the body grows heavy and the film slows, and the editor, who has worked so hard for so long, finally gets the night off. There's a very old book from China, small enough to read in an evening and deep enough to spend a life in, and somewhere near its beginning, it points at three ordinary things and quietly turns the world inside out. Look at a wheel, it says. 30 spokes meet at the hub, but it's the hole at the center, the empty place where the axle goes, that makes the wheel useful at all. Look at a clay pot. The potter shapes the walls, but it's the hollow inside, the part that is nothing, that holds the water. Look at a room. You build it with walls and a roof, but you live in the emptiness they enclose. Cut doors and windows, and it's the openings, the absences, that make it a home. And then the old book gives you the whole teaching in one line. We work with what is there, but we use what is not there. Sit with how completely that reverses the ordinary accounting. We are trained, all of us, from the beginning, to value the something and ignore the nothing. The clay, not the hollow, the spokes, not the hub. And we run our minds on exactly the same bias. We prize the contents, the thoughts, the plans, the knowledge, the busy furniture of the head, and we treat the empty places as waste, as absence, as the mind failing to produce. A quiet moment feels like idleness. A gap in thought feels like a stall. An evening where the mind made nothing feels like a loss. We are clay worshippers, all of us, filling every hollow we find. But run the old book's test on your own head. What is a mind actually for, at its best? Taking things in, understanding, noticing, receiving another person, receiving a night like this one. And every one of those is a function of the hollow, not the clay. You can only take in what you have room for. A mind stuffed to the walls with its own contents cannot receive one more thing, not a sunset, not a sentence from someone you love, not sleep. There's nowhere to put it. You know the feeling from both sides. The crowded days when beautiful things bounced off you because there was no vacancy. And those rare, spacious evenings when the same street, the same sky, the same music suddenly got all the way in because for once there was room at the inn. The difference was never in the world. It was in the hollow. Everything that has ever deeply reached you through your emptiness. The space between your thoughts isn't the mind's waste, it's the mind's capacity. It is, quite literally, the part of you that holds. And here's the gentle joke hidden in it. All this time, you've been trying to improve the pot by adding clay. More thinking to solve the thinking, more content to fix the crowding, thicker walls, more spokes. The old book just smiles at that. You don't deepen a bowl by filling it. The capacity you want, the openness, the receptivity, the room to hold your own life, isn't gained by adding a single thing. It's revealed by everything you set down. Each thought that ends tonight and isn't replaced, each plan allowed to close, each worry that finishes its lap and finds no fresh rider, hollows the bowl a little further. You aren't losing anything as the mind empties towards sleep. You're becoming what a mind is for. So as the gaps keep arriving tonight, greet them with the old accounting reversed. That little nothing between two thoughts, not a stall, a hub. The growing quiet as the evening's contents settle. Not idleness, a bowl coming back to its own shape. And the wide, dark room of this bedroom around you, walls and roof built long ago by someone who understood, whether they knew it or not, that what they were really building was the emptiness inside, the useful, restful, sheltering nothing that is holding you at this very moment. You live in the hollow of things. You always have. Tonight, Let yourself feel held by it. There's a story they tell about a university professor who once climbed a mountain to visit an old master, back in the days when that was how you did it. He came, he said, to learn about Zen. And then, being a professor, he began to talk. He explained what he'd read about Zen, what he understood of it, where he agreed and where he had questions, his theories, his framework, on and on, while the old man quietly set out the tea things. The master put a cup in front of his guest and began to pour. The cup filled. The master kept pouring. Tea rose to the brim, trembled there, and spilled over the rim into the saucer, onto the table, and still the old man poured gently, attentively, as if everything were in order, until the professor could not stand it. "Stop," he said. "The cup is full. No more will go in." And the master set down the pot and smiled and said, "Like this cup, you are full of your own ideas. How can I show you anything unless you first empty your cup?" It's one of the oldest teaching stories there is. And notice, it's not really a story about tea or even about professors. It's about the one precondition for receiving anything: room. The master wasn't refusing to teach. He was pointing out that there was, at that moment, nowhere in the visitor for a teaching to go. Every drop poured onto fullness is wasted, no matter how fine the tea. And the emptying he prescribed wasn't a punishment or a humbling, though it's often told that way. It was hospitality advice. Make space, and things can be given to you. Stay full, and the whole mountain's wisdom runs uselessly over your brim. You came to this night, like the professor came to the mountain. Most of us do, most nights. Full of the day's opinions and rehearsals and open cases, cup brimming, and everything the night had to offer. The dark, the quiet, the rest, was pouring over the rim and going nowhere. All evening, without ceremony, you've been emptying the cup. That's all any of this has been. And you can probably feel the difference by now, the way the last little while has actually been getting in, the quiet landing in you instead of running off you. That's what an emptier cup feels like from the inside. The night is still pouring. It pours till dawn, sleep, depth, repair, the whole dark teapot of it. Stay empty and take the pour. There's an old saying among musicians, passed around so long that nobody quite owns it anymore. The music is not in the notes, but in the silence between them. And like most things musicians say, it sounds like poetry until you actually listen. And then it turns out to be engineering. Take any piece of music you love, anything, a song, a nocturne, something your grandmother hummed, and imagine it played with the silences removed. Every rest deleted, every pause closed up, every note crowded flush against the next, one unbroken wall of sound from the first bar to the last. You don't have to be a musician to know what you'd get. Not richer music, noise, literal noise, pitch without phrasing, sound without shape, a smear, because the notes were never the whole music. The silences are what let one phrase end and another begin. there where the melody breathes, where the question mark of one line waits for the answer of the next, where the drama gathers. The great performers know this in their hands. Ask what separates a competent player from one who makes people weep. And it's rarely the notes. Everyone plays the notes, it's the rests. The nerve to let silence stand there, unfilled, doing its enormous quiet work. A held pause in a concert hall, 1 full second of nothing, can be the loudest moment of the night. Now listen to the composition you've been running in your own head, because a mind is exactly this kind of instrument. Thoughts are its notes. And you've been playing, be honest, like a frightened beginner. No rests. Every thought crowded flush against the next. Every pause filled the instant it threatens to open. The phone reached for, the next worry queued, the silence between two ideas treated as dead air, to be papered over. Wall-to-wall notes, morning to midnight. And then you wonder why the inside of your head sounds, by this hour, not like music, but like the smear. Why the individual thoughts, some of which are genuinely good, land with no weight and no shape. Why nothing resolves. Nothing can resolve. Resolution is a thing that happens in rests. A thought, like a phrase, only completes itself in the silence after it. That's where its meaning settles, where it files itself away, where it lets you go. Deny your thoughts their rests, and they never finish. They just pile up mid-phrase unresolved, circling back all night trying to find the ending you never gave them room to have. So tonight, play it differently. You don't need to change a single note. That's the beauty of it. The thoughts can be whatever they are. Just restore the rests. When a thought ends, let there be the beat of silence it was always written with. Don't rush the next entrance. You're not composing tonight anyway. The day's writing is done. This hour is the last page of the nocturne, and you know how those go. The phrases stretch farther and farther apart. The rests grow longer than the lines. The music doesn't stop so much as widen, silence taking over voice by voice, until the final note isn't really a note at all. It's the quiet after one, ringing on, and nobody in the hall moves because everyone can hear it. The silence is still the music. It's the part of the music you're allowed to fall asleep inside. Let your evening end like that. Fewer notes now, longer rests. The phrases of thought arriving softer and further between, each one allowed to finish, each silence allowed to stand. You've played all day. This is the diminuendo, and it plays itself. All you have to do is stop being afraid of the rests, and the whole tired symphony of today resolves, the way music always resolves, into the quiet it came from. Here's something odd and lovely to consider. Every sense you have is built around an opening. You see through a pupil, which is not a thing, but a hole, a small dark doorway in the colored ring of the eye. And everything you have ever looked at, every face, every sunset, every word on every page, entered you through that little emptiness. Cover it, fill it, and the seeing stops. The eye works only because part of it is missing. You hear through a canal a small tunnel of nothing. Block it, and the world goes mute. The nose, the mouth, the very pores of the skin, openings, all of them. The body is not a sealed vessel that somehow knows the world. It's a shape organized around its own gaps, and the world pours in through the gaps, nowhere else. Every beautiful thing that has ever reached you through an emptiness you carry. And cameras, when we finally built them, had to learn the same anatomy. At the heart of every one is an aperture, an opening, and the whole craft of the instrument is in how it manages that little nothing. Close the aperture entirely and you have a light-proof box, perfect, sealed, and blind. The photograph happens because of the whole, which is worth holding up against the way we think about minds, isn't it? We imagine a good mind as a full one, stocked, sealed, complete. But a mind takes the world in exactly the way the eye does, through its openness, through whatever in it is still unfilled and undefended, and a mind with no aperture left, no gap, no receptive emptiness, is the light-proof box. Perfectly stocked, perfectly sealed, and blind to the evening it's sitting in. You've been both kinds. You know which one the world can still get into. So all this space you're recovering tonight, understand it one more way. It's your aperture reopening. The gaps between thoughts are the pupil of the mind, dilating now the way pupils do in the dark, wider and wider, letting more of the quiet in. Nothing needs to be done about that either. You've never once instructed your pupils; they open when the light softens, all by themselves. Something in the mind does the same, is doing it now, in this dark opening by the minute, and the night is coming in through it, gentle as anything, the way the world has always come to you, through your openings, through your emptiness, through the parts of you that were never filled because they were never meant to be. They were meant to be doors. In some of the old meditation halls, they begin and end the sitting with a bell, not to mark time or not only. The bell is the instruction, because a bell, listened to properly, will teach you in one ringing everything the teachers spend years pointing at. Here's the practice, and you can do it tonight with any sound at all. When a bell is struck, everyone hears the strike, the bright beginning. Most people stop listening there. The mind files it, bell, and moves on, but the instruction is stay, follow the sound. Because a bell doesn't end, it diminishes. The ring stretches out, thinner and thinner, a long golden thread of sound narrowing into the air. And if you follow it faithfully all the way, refusing to leave early, something remarkable happens at the far end. The sound gets so quiet that you can't tell the exact moment it becomes silence. You lean your whole attention after it, further, fainter, until you're no longer sure whether you're hearing the last of the bell or the first of the quiet. And then, there you are, standing in pure silence, wide awake, with your attention fully open and nothing in it. The bell has handed you directly into the space. That's why they ring it. A sound, followed all the way to its end, is a door into the silence it came from. And once you know the trick, the world turns out to be full of bells. Every sound in this room tonight is one. The house creaks somewhere. Follow the creak to its finish, and it delivers you into the hush behind it. A car passes outside, most nights an annoyance. Tonight a long bell rising, falling, thinning up the street until it hands you back to the quiet. And the quiet after a passing car, you'll notice, feels deeper than the quiet before it. That's the secret the bell ringers knew. Sound doesn't interrupt silence. Sound reveals it. The silence is the permanent thing, the field. Sounds are just brief shapes that rise out of it and sink back, and every single one of them, followed home, points to where it went. You can spend this whole night being bothered by the noises of the world, or you can spend it being handed, noise by noise, into the stillness underneath them. Same sounds, entirely different night. Try it now with something even nearer, my voice. These words are bells too. Each sentence rises, rings, and thins away, and between them, if you follow, there's the hush they came from and return to. You don't have to hold on to the meanings. This late, the meanings matter less than the ringing. Just let each phrase carry you out to its quiet end and rest there in the little silence until the next one lifts you again. Word, silence, word, silence. You're not really listening to me anymore. You're listening through me, to the stillness these sounds keep opening onto, which was here before I said anything, and will be here, holding you long after the last sentence of the night has thinned away into it. The world will keep making its small sounds till morning. Let every one of them be a bell, struck softly somewhere in the dark, again and again, each one ringing you a little further down, each one ending as all sounds end, as this one is ending now in the wide, patient, waiting quiet that never ends at all. The body has its own version of a crowded mind, and you're probably holding some of it right now. It's called grip. Do a slow inventory without fixing anything yet, just noticing. The jaw, is it resting or held? Most people find any given hour of the day that the teeth are lightly clenched, the jaw carrying some small effortful charge it was never asked to carry. The shoulders, an inch higher than they need to be, braced against nothing in particular. The hands, check the hands, half curled even now, even here, as if holding invisible tools. The belly, pulled faintly in. The brow, faintly knit. None of it is doing anything. That's the strange part. There's no rope in the hands, no blow coming at the shoulders, nothing for the jaw to bite. It's just grip, ambient, habitual, the body's wall-to-wall, the muscular equivalent of a mind with no gaps. Every fiber slightly occupied, all day holding nothing, and exhausted by evening from the holding of it. And here's the sweet mechanical truth, the reason this belongs to tonight. You cannot receive anything with a closed hand. Try it. In imagination, a fist can be given nothing. Things bounce off knuckles. To be handed anything, rest, warmth, sleep itself. The hand has to open, and the opening is not an action, notice. It's the end of one. Nobody opens a fist by adding effort. You open it by leaving off the effort that was making it, and the hand does the rest, blooms back to its natural openness all on its own, because open is what hands are when nothing is being done to them. Open is the resting shape of hands and of everything else on the inventory. The jaw's resting shape is loose, the shoulders is low, the brows is smooth. All that grip isn't your body's nature, it's your body's activity, and activities can simply be stopped. So go back down the inventory now, and this time leave off. Let the jaw be unheld, teeth apart, tongue loose. Let the shoulders finish their long day of guarding nothing and come down all the way down to where the bed takes over. Let the hands, wherever they are, uncurl to their resting openness, palms soft, fingers loose, the shape of a person being handed something. Let the belly go, the brow go smooth. With each one, feel the little space that opens where the grip was. Room in the body, gap by gap. Exactly like the gaps in the mind, and made the same way. Not by doing, by ceasing. The body, ungripped, turns out to be mostly openness too. It was only ever the holding that made it feel solid and small. And notice when the hands have opened, what arrives in them almost immediately: warmth, weight, the plain animal comfort of the covers. It was waiting the whole time, it just needed somewhere open to land. That's the arrangement in the body as everywhere else tonight. The world gives to the open. The night is holding out sleep to you right now, patient as ever, and every muscle you unclench, every gap you allow, is a hand held out to take it. Your own body keeps a space for you, and it has kept it faithfully your whole life, tucked into the one rhythm you never stop making. It's at the bottom of the breath. Feel it without changing anything. The breath comes in, rises, turns and goes out, and then right there, before the next one gathers, there's a pause, a little still place at the bottom of the exhale where the body is neither breathing out nor breathing in, where for a moment nothing at all is being done. It's brief when you're busy, barely a flicker, but it's always there, every cycle, thousands of times a day. A built-in rest at the end of every breath's sentence, and it deepens all by itself as you settle. It's deepening now, actually. The breath of a person lying down at night stretches out, and that bottom pause widens with it, the way the pause between waves widens as the tide turns. Sailors have a name for that, the ocean's version. Slack water, they call it, the short spell between tides when the sea, which has been moving all day, one way and then the other, simply stops. Not frozen, not dead, just poised, the whole enormous weight of it resting between intentions. Old harbor pilots love slack water. It's when everything difficult becomes easy, when what fought you all day suddenly lets you pass. And that's exactly what lives at the bottom of your exhale. Slack water, in miniature, offered every single breath. The day's tide going out, The night's not yet coming in, and for one unhurried moment, no current at all. So here's the gentlest practice of the night, and it may carry you all the way to sleep on its own. Just visit the pause. Don't stretch it. Don't hold your breath. That's effort, and effort is current. Simply ride each breath down like a slow wave, and when it reaches the bottom, be there. Notice the stillness, the little slack water, the moment of the body doing absolutely nothing, and let yourself rest in it for exactly as long as it naturally lasts. Then the next breath rises on its own. It always does. You've never once had to fetch it, and you ride it up and over and down again to the next pause. Breath and pause. Breath again and rest again. You're not breathing anymore so much as visiting again and again the quietest address you own. And notice what's true in that pause each time you land there. No thought lives in it. Have you noticed that? Thoughts ride the breath. They gather on the inhale, they talk on the exhale. But in the still bottom, in the slack, there's rarely anyone speaking. The pause between breaths and the gap between thoughts turn out to be the same country, entered by different gates. Which means you don't have to go hunting the space between your thoughts through the mind's crowded streets at all. The body has a back way in. It's been holding the door your whole life, at the foot of every breath, patient as tide, and tonight, breath by slowing breath, wider and wider each visit, it's holding it open for you now. Down and rest. Rise and turn. Down and rest. The night itself breathes at about this pace. If you listen, you're in rhythm with something very large and very old, and it has never once dropped anyone it carried. Now, a warning offered with a smile, because you're going to run into this tonight, and I'd rather you recognized it when it comes. At some point, probably soon, you'll get a taste of the space, a real one, a moment of genuine, quiet room between thoughts, and it will be lovely. And the very next instant, a voice in you will say, "There it is. Quick, hold it. Get more of it. How do I get back there?" And the space will vanish like a soap bubble grabbed by a child. Here's why, and it's not your failure, it's geometry again. The chasing is a thought. The wanting is a thought. There it is, hold it, is a thought. And the moment it arrives, the gap it's so excited about is, by definition, over, because the gap was the absence of exactly this kind of traffic. Seeking silence is a noise. Hunting for space takes up space. You cannot pursue this particular quarry, because the pursuit is the one thing the quarry cannot survive. It's the old joke about running out of the room to look for the room. Wherever you charge off to, you've brought the charging. So how do you get there if not by going? You already know, actually. Think of every real encounter you've ever had with this stillness, the true ones, and notice how every single one arrived. Sideways, unchased. You were watching rain and forgot to be anyone for a minute. You put the last dish away and stood in the kitchen, hands dripping, empty as a bell after ringing. You looked up from a task, and the evening had gone blue, and something in you went quiet before you could name it. Not once in your life did you march into that stillness on purpose, frontally, by trying. It came when the trying lapsed. It always comes when the trying lapses. The space between thoughts is like one of those faint stars you can only see by not looking straight at it. Meet it head on and it's gone. Soften your gaze to the side and there it is again, steady, all along. Which turns tonight's whole errand delightfully inside out. Your job is not to find the space. Your job is to be findable. To lie here, soft-eyed, unhurried, giving up the hunt over and over and let the space do what it has always done. Arrive from the side, in the seams, whenever you're sufficiently uninterested in catching it. That's why everything we're doing tonight is so oblique. Following bells, riding breaths, listening to silences. None of it is a frontal assault because there is no frontal way. They're all just ways of being pleasantly occupied off to one side, the way you distract a shy animal by looking elsewhere, until it comes and settles against you of its own accord. And when the grabbing reflex fires anyway, and it will, hold it more. Just recognize the old collector, smile at it in the dark, and let that thought, too, end and follow it to its own little gap. Even the grasping is a bell if you let it finish ringing. There's nothing here to get, is the strange, restful truth of it. Nothing to get, nowhere to reach, no catch to bring home. Only something to stop doing, gradually, layer by layer. The way a fist you didn't know you were making slowly opens in your sleep. The space isn't hiding from you, it's waiting for you to stop arriving, so it can. There's a place where this space stops being a nicety and becomes, quietly, the most practical thing you own. It's the gap between what happens to you and what you do about it. Watch the difference in your own days. On the crowded days, the wall-to-wall days, things happen, and you react in the same instant. There's no daylight between the two at all. The sharp email arrives and the sharp reply is halfway typed before you've finished reading. Someone's tone lands wrong and your face has already answered. The old button gets pressed and the old behavior fires, whole and automatic, like a machine that only has one move. Nobody chooses any of it, that's the thing. Choosing takes room, and on those days there's no room. The incoming and the outgoing are pressed flush together like everything else in there, and you spend the whole day being operated by events. Trigger to response, and come to bed feeling somehow both exhausted and absent, like a passenger in your own conduct. You know exactly the days I mean. They're the loud mind days. It's not a coincidence. And then there are the other days, or even just moments when a little space has somehow survived in you, and the same things happen, and everything goes differently. The sharp email arrives and there's a beat, small, unhurried, nothing dramatic, just a breath's worth of room between the landing and the answering. And in that beat, entirely on its own, perspective walks in. You notice the sender was probably having their own terrible day. You notice you have options. That's the astonishing part. Options, plural. where on the crowded days there was only ever the one automatic move. The reply you send is the one you'd choose, not the one that fired. The moment passes through you instead of operating you. Anyone watching would say you showed restraint or wisdom or grace, but you know it wasn't a virtue you performed. It was a vacancy you happened to have. All the patience you've ever shown, all the kindness under pressure, every time you've been proud of how you handled something hard, look closely. And there was always a gap in the middle of it, a little space between the spark and the powder. Character, it turns out, is largely spacing, which reframes what you've been doing all night, doesn't it? This isn't just about tonight's comfort. Every gap you befriend in here, every bit of room that survives in you into tomorrow, is a place where tomorrow's sparks can land without igniting the whole day. People who keep some space in themselves move through the world differently. You've met them, the unhurried ones, the ones who take a breath before answering, and whose answers are worth the breath. They weren't born with different machinery. They just keep more room between the parts. And room, as you now know, isn't built. It's just never given away. And tonight, hour by quiet hour, you've been taking yours back. So let that be one more reason to let the space widen as you drift. You're not only resting tonight, you're restocking the very thing that will make tomorrow gentler, the pause that will sit, small and invisible, between you and everything that happens next. And if you want to know what a person's inner space is worth to the people around them, think about what it actually is to be listened to, really listened to, the rare kind. You've had it happen a few times in your life, and you remember each one, don't you? Someone who took you in without composing their reply while you spoke, without steering, without waiting for their turn, who simply made room and let you unfold into it. It's unmistakable from the inside being received like that, and it changes what you're able to say. People discover what they actually think in that kind of listening. Sentences come out that surprise the speaker, truths surface that had never had enough room to form anywhere else. Half of what a good therapist does, half of what a good friend does, half of love itself, when you look closely, is this: holding open a space another person can finally think inside. And now notice what that listening is made of. Nothing. That's the whole recipe. The good listener isn't doing something extra. They're refraining from everything usual, the advising, the relating it back to themselves, the reply under construction, the crowd of their own thoughts. They've emptied a room in themselves and let you in it, which is why you can't fake it, and why it's so rare, and why it's become rarer. Listening like that requires having space to spare, and people are fuller than they've ever been. A person with no gaps can face you and nod and hear every word, and you'll still walk away unheard because there was nowhere in them for you to land. Whereas the spacious ones, the unhurried ones, and you know one or two, receive you before they've said anything at all. Their emptiness is the gift. It always was. So here's one more thing. Your night's work is quietly worth. Every gap you've recovered in here is room somebody else will get to unfold into tomorrow. The people you love will be met this week by whatever amount of space survives in you, and by nothing else. Your advice is optional to them. Your room is not. And there's a nearer beneficiary too, because all evening, without calling it this, you have been giving that rare listening to yourself, taking your own tired mind in without steering it, without composing the reply, just making room and letting it unfold. It's why things have been surfacing and settling all night. You've finally been heard by the one listener who was always available and never empty enough. Stay this way a little. The last few things in you that need receiving are very quiet, and they only come out in exactly this kind of room. You already know this space socially, by the way. You felt it with another person, and it's worth remembering, because it teaches something about silence that nothing else quite can. Think of the oldest, easiest friendship you have or have had. The kind where you can drive for an hour together without talking. And it isn't awkward. It's the opposite of awkward. It's one of the best hours you know. Or sitting on a porch with someone at dusk, both of you watching the same nothing, saying nothing, and being more together in that silence than most people ever manage mid-conversation. Now notice what that comfortable silence is made of. It's not empty of the other person, that's the whole point. It's full of them. The talk has stopped, but the being with hasn't. If anything, it's deepened because all the performing has stopped too. Nothing needs to be said. Nothing needs to be managed. Nobody is filling anything, and what's left when all the filling stops isn't absence. It's presence, plain and warm, the simple weight of two people existing side by side with nothing between them but room. New friendships can't do this yet. You felt that too. The terror of the lull, the scramble to fill every pause, because with someone you don't fully trust, silence feels like exposure, like something failing. The measure of intimacy, it turns out, isn't how much two people can say to each other. It's how little they need to. Silence is what trust sounds like. Now bring it home, because here's the turn. You have a lifelong companion in your own mind, and the two of you have never once shut up. The inner conversation runs from waking to sleep, commentary, planning, judging, narrating, filling. And you know now what all that filling means. You learned it on the porch. Constant talk is what we do with company we don't yet trust enough to be quiet with. Somewhere along the way, you became someone you can't sit in silence beside. The pauses feel like exposure. The mind's lulls feel like something failing, and so scramble. They get filled. Everyone. All day. For years. All that noise isn't the sign of a busy mind. It's the sign of a new friendship. It's the small talk of someone who hasn't yet learned they're safe with themselves. Tonight then, try the old friendship instead. The porch, the dusk, the hour of driving without a word, with yourself. When the inner conversation lulls, and it will lull more and more as the night deepens, don't scramble. Let the pause stand, exactly the way you'd let it stand beside your oldest friend, unfilled, unafraid, full of the being with. Nothing has failed when your mind goes quiet next to you. something has finally relaxed. And the silence that opens up isn't you disappearing any more than your friend disappeared on that drive. It's you, present, plain, and warm, existing beside yourself at last with nothing between you but room, which is, you may notice, exactly what the deepest company has always felt like. You've earned this kind of silence with yourself. It took a lot of years and a lot of miles. Most friendships this old have both. So sit back on the porch of this pillow in the dusk of this hour, next to the one person who's been in the car the whole way, and say nothing together, while the evening goes blue and the crickets of the small sounds start up, and neither of you needs one single word to know you're not alone in here. It's worth asking gently where all your spaces went, because you were given them, you know. The day hands out little parcels of emptiness constantly, it always has. The wait for the kettle, the queue, the red light, the elevator's slow climb, the minute before the meeting starts, the walk between one place and the next, the moment after you sit down somewhere and before anything begins. Small gaps, seeded all through every ordinary day, dozens of them. And for most of human history, that's exactly what they stayed, unfilled. People stood at fences, stared out of windows, waited for bread to rise with nothing in their hands. All that scattered emptiness was where minds caught their breath, where the day got quietly digested as it went along. A drip feed of tiny rests, morning to night. And then, quite recently, we invented a way to fill every single one. You know the gesture. Your hand knows it better than you do. The elevator door closes. Phone. The queue moves slowly. Phone. The friend steps away from the table for 2 minutes. Phone. Not because anything needs checking mostly, because the gap opened and gaps came to feel unbearable. And the phone is a gap sealant of genius, pocket-sized, always ready, able to caulk over any silence in under a second. And so, without ever once deciding to, you and everyone you know eliminated the in-between times entirely. Not the big leisure, the small emptiness, the connective silence, the drip feed. And a mind that used to get dozens of tiny rests a day now gets none at all and arrives at 11 at night, having been continuously, seamlessly occupied for 16 hours, holding a whole, undigested day, and wonders, staring at the ceiling, why the noise won't settle. This bed is the first gap you've had since morning. Of course, it's loud in here. Everything you postponed is holding its ticket. I'm not going to hand you homework at midnight. Tonight is for sleeping, not resolving. But notice, at least, what the small gaps were for, because it explains so much of these last hours. The mind does its settling in the in-between times. That's when the morning's conversation gets quietly filed, when the half-thought completes itself, when feelings you didn't have time for get their 30 seconds and stop needing more. Waiting was never wasted time. Waiting was maintenance. The boredom you've been sealing over all these years was the sound of the mind tidying itself, and a day with no boredom in it arrives at night untidied, all of it left for the one poor gap that remains. This one, the bed, which is why the bed so often gets loud. Tonight, the tidying is happening anyway. You've been doing little else this whole hour, and it's nearly done. But maybe carry one soft thing into tomorrow. Not as a rule, just as a curiosity. The next time a small gap opens in your day, the kettle, the queue, the closing elevator door, try leaving it open. 10 seconds of nothing, hands still, eyes wherever they fall. Feel the odd little relief of it, like a room getting one window cracked. The day will settle as it goes, the way days used to, and by the time you reach this pillow tomorrow night, there may be so much less waiting for you here. The world is stitched together with in-between places, and once you start seeing them, you realize how much of your life has secretly happened there. Doorways, landings, the corridor between two rooms, dusk, which is neither day nor night. The moment on a journey when you've left one place and not yet arrived at the next, looking out a window at country that belongs to nobody's plans. These are the thresholds, the in-betweens, and every old culture treated them as special, hung charms on door frames, told stories about crossroads, held their feasts at the turning of seasons, because people used to understand something we've mostly forgotten. The between places are where the changing happens, where one thing has genuinely ended and the next has genuinely not begun, and for a moment you are neither, and anything is briefly possible, and the air feels different, and it isn't your imagination. You visit the greatest of these thresholds every single morning, and you may never have noticed. It's the first moment of waking, not the alarm, not the reaching for the phone before that. There's a sliver of time right at the surface of sleep when you are awake but not yet anyone. The eyes open, the ceiling is there, light is there, and for one clean instant, there's no name attached to any of it, no history, no to-do list, no self, just awareness, fresh out of the package, taking its first look. And then you can almost feel the machinery engage. It all boots up. Who you are, what day it is, what's wrong, what's waiting, the whole file downloads and the weight lands, and you're you again, with everything that entails. That first sliver before the download, that's the space between thoughts, experienced at full width. It's what you are before the furniture arrives. Most people live their whole lives visiting that clearing every morning and never once noticing they were there. Why does this matter tonight? Because falling asleep is the same threshold crossed in the other direction, and knowing the terrain changes how you travel it. Right now, as you drift, the day's furniture is being carried out piece by piece. The plans first, usually, then the words, then the sense of the room, then the sense of time, and last of all, always last, the little sense of being someone in particular. People fight at exactly that doorway, right at the lip of sleep. The self feels itself thinning and startles awake, grabs the furniture, hauls it all back in. I almost went, as if the threshold were a danger. But you stand in that same doorway every morning, unfurnished, nameless for a moment, and nothing bad has ever happened to you there. It's the same clearing, the same friendly, weightless between. Nothing is lost in it that morning doesn't return, and what waits on the far side of it is only sleep, the oldest room in the house. So tonight, when you feel yourself starting to thin at the edges, the thoughts going strange and loose, the room getting theoretical, the self beginning to set down its bags, don't startle. Recognize the doorway. You've stood in it thousands of times, both directions, and it has never once been anything but kind to you. Let the furniture go out, let the name go last, the way it always does, and don't reach after it. It knows the way back. It has found you every morning of your life. The threshold isn't the edge of you, it's the between place where you get to stop being heavy for a while. The crossroads where every night, safely, with the charm already hung on the doorframe, you set the whole self down and cross. Here's a small proof you can hold in your hands, or could, if the light were on, any book on your shelf. Open it anywhere, and before you read a word, look at the page as an object. Notice how much of it is empty. The white frame of the margins, generous on every side. The gaps between the lines, between the words. The space indented at every paragraph. The deliberate emptiness at the end of every chapter. On a well-made page, the ink is a guest, and the white space is the host. There's usually more nothing than something, and every bit of that nothing was chosen, measured, argued over by people whose whole craft is knowing this one secret. The margins are what make the words readable, because you've seen the counterexample, even if only in glimpses. A page set wall to wall, tiny type, no margins, no line space, no paragraph breaks, the fine print, the terms and conditions, the page designed, whether anyone admits it, not to be read. Confronted with it, the eye slides off. The mind refuses. It's not that the words are harder, they're the same words. It's that there's nowhere to stand. Reading, it turns out, doesn't happen on the ink. It happens in the white, in the little rests where the eye lands and the mind catches up, line gap by line gap, margin by margin. Take away the emptiness, and you haven't made the page more efficient. You've made it unreadable, meaning needs somewhere to sit. Your days are typeset too. That's the carryover, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. A life is laid out on time the way text is laid out on paper, and it obeys the same craft. A day with margins, room before things and after things, a paragraph break mid-afternoon, white space around the edges of the evening, reads well. The same events, the same duties, the same ink, but the mind can take them in, land between them, catch up. And a day set like fine print, appointments flush against appointments, every line gap sold off, the margins filled with errands, becomes exactly what the crammed page becomes, unreadable. You've lived those days. Nothing in them was necessarily bad, and yet by night you couldn't have said what any of it meant, because meaning needs somewhere to sit, and you'd given it nowhere, and so it's all still standing, waiting, tonight, in the hallway of you, hoping for a margin. This hour is that margin. That's what this hour is for. The white space at the bottom of the day's last page, where everything printed above finally gets read. And you, yourself, the person, you're typeset too. One more page in the book of people who love you. Think of what the margins of a person are, their pauses, their ease, the room around their words, the unhurried space they carry into a room. That's what makes someone readable, isn't it? What makes them restful to be near. We say people are good company when what we mean is that they have margins. So keep yours. Guard the white space in your days and in your sentences and in yourself, not as laziness, as typography. The fullest lives, like the finest pages, are mostly breathing room, and everything printed on them is legible, and lands, and is beautiful, precisely because of all the places where nothing was. In Japan, there's a word the West never quite managed to translate, and the failure is telling. The word is ma. Ask for a definition and you'll get circles drawn around something. The interval, the gap, the pause between things, the space between things, treated not as absence, but as a thing itself, as real as what it separates with its own weight and its own work to do. The West files silence and space under nothing. Ma says, look again. The nothing is doing something. Once you have the word, you see it everywhere, in the things that feel right. The old ink paintings where the mountain occupies one corner and the rest of the paper is left empty. And the emptiness isn't unfinished. It's the mist, the distance, the morning. Most of the painting's feeling lives in the part that was never painted. The traditional room with almost nothing in it, one scroll, one flower, and the bareness isn't poverty, it's what lets the one flower actually be seen. The pause the storyteller takes at exactly the right moment, where the whole room leans in, the told part of the story stopping so the felt part can catch up. Great gardens are mostly ma. Great conversations are full of it. Every designer, every architect, every poet, whoever made something that breathes, learned the same secret from some direction. The elements don't make the thing. The spacing makes the thing. Crowd the elements, kill the life. Give them room. And even plain things become beautiful, because now they can be beheld. And the mind you've been living in, look at it now with this eye, all content, no ma. Thoughts crowded corner to corner, like a canvas some anxious painter couldn't stop filling, every inch covered and covered again, layers deep. No wonder nothing in there can be seen anymore. No wonder even your good thoughts, your real insights, your genuine loves have gone invisible in the pile. Nothing can be beheld without emptiness around it. A single worry in a spacious mind is a small dark bird on a wide pale sky, seen clearly, sized correctly, almost elegant. The same worry in a crowded mind is one more shape in the heap. It was never the bird that made the difference. It was the sky you gave it. So what we're really doing tonight, in this long, slow hour, is restoring the ma, not deleting your thoughts. We've never once tried to delete anything tonight, but re-spacing them, letting the intervals back in between, the margins back around, the pale sky back behind. And you can feel it working, can't you, if you check? The thoughts still come, but they've begun arriving like the mountain in the corner of the painting, one at a time with room around them. And the room is doing what Ma always does, letting each one be seen, sized, and released. This is what peace actually is, by the way. Not an empty mind. The painters never wanted a blank page either. Peace is a composed mind, a few things well spaced, in a great deal of room. Every night has a composition. Tonight's is becoming very simple. One warm body, one slow breath, one or two last drifting thoughts, small and far apart now, high in the pale, enormous sky of you. And around and between and behind it all, the great unpainted portion, the interval, the Ma, spreading quietly through the frame the way mist fills a mountain scroll until the last little shapes stand very far apart and very peaceful and very nearly dream. Deep in any old forest, if you walk far enough, you'll come to a clearing. Every forest has them, the sudden openings where the trees stand back, a rough circle of grass and light in the middle of all that green density. And stepping into one is an experience people have been failing to put into words for as long as there have been walkers. The lift of it, the exhale, the sense of arriving somewhere, though there's nothing there. That's the point, of course. The nothing is what you arrived at. After miles of trunks and undergrowth, of the eye never reaching further than the next thicket, suddenly, room, sky overhead, distance restored, and every animal in the woods knows what you know in that moment. Clearings are where you can finally see, which is why the deer come to them at dusk and rest there in the open, held by the visible space around them, safer in the emptiness than anywhere in the crowded green. The old stories understood clearings too. It's always in a clearing that the travelers rest, that the important meeting happens, that the hidden cottage stands. Never in the thicket, always in the opening. Something in us has always known that the woods are for traveling and the clearing is for arriving, that dense places move you along and open places let you stop, and that a forest with no clearings, mile on mile of unbroken thicket, would be a kind of nightmare, beautiful and unrestable, no matter how fine the trees. You've been walking your own woods all day. That's what a day is, really. Dense growth, thought trunks close together, the eye of the mind never reaching past the next task, the next exchange, the path winding on through the undergrowth of things to do and things half done. Fine woods, some days. But you can't rest in a thicket, and all evening, without calling it this, we've been looking for the clearing, and here's the good news you can probably already feel. You're standing at its edge. The trees of thought have been thinning for the last hour, standing further and further back. The gaps have been widening into actual openness. Somewhere in these last few minutes, the path stopped winding and the sky came back overhead, the wide, dark sky of the quiet mind. And this bed, this warm, flat place in the middle of your grown-over life, is the grass in the middle of the circle. So do what everything does in a clearing. Stop traveling. step out of the tree line all the way out and lie down in the open middle where the deer lie, in the held emptiness, with the woods of the day standing back all around you at a respectful distance, dark and finished, and no longer needing to be walked. The clearing was always here, deep in the middle of you. Every forest keeps one. It kept it for tonight. If you've ever been outside just after a heavy snowfall at night, you know a particular silence that exists nowhere else. The world doesn't just get quiet. It gets hushed, muffled, held. Sound itself seems to have lain down. Part of that is real physics. The fresh snow is full of tiny air pockets that swallow sound the way soft furnishings swallow echoes. The whole landscape becomes one vast white blanket, doing exactly what blankets do. But stand in it a while and you notice the stranger thing. The silence isn't empty. It has a texture, a presence. People come in from a snow-quiet night and say it was so peaceful out there, and they don't mean nothing was happening. They mean something was, something restful and enormous, and it was made entirely of hush. That's the discovery waiting at the bottom of all silence. Once you stop rushing past it, silence has content. We're taught the opposite, that quiet is a lack, sound minus itself, a zero. But every deep quiet you've ever actually stood inside had a quality, didn't it? The snow silence, dense and woolen, the silence of a forest at noon, tall and green and faintly humming, the silence of an empty church or an old library which has a weight to it, almost a temperature. The silence of this room right now, which is not the same as the silence of your kitchen or of a hotel room, or of 3 in the morning in a house where everyone you love is asleep. That one, you know that one. It's one of the fullest sounds on earth. None of these are zeros. Each is a presence you can rest attention on, thick enough to hold it. The word silence is like the word snow to someone who's never seen winter. One flat term for a whole world of different fallings. And the silence inside you is the same. This is the fear that keeps people from ever making friends with their own quiet. They assume the space between thoughts must be a void, a blank, a little death. And who would want to spend the night there? But you've been visiting it all evening now, gap by gap, pause by pause, and you can testify, was it a void, or did it have, each time you actually landed in it, a quality, warmth or depth, or a kind of soft aliveness, like held breath, like snow hush, like the felt presence of a room at rest? The space between your thoughts isn't a hole in you, it's a place in you, furnished with stillness, carpeted with that woolen quiet, lit by something faint and steady that has no name, but is unmistakably not nothing. The old traditions kept insisting on this in their various accents. The emptiness is full. They weren't being mystical. They just stood in it long enough to feel the texture. So let tonight's last fear go, if any of it is still lingering. The fear that as the thoughts thin out, you're heading into blankness. You're not. You're heading into the snow quiet. The mind's weather is doing exactly what the sky does on those hushed white nights, the flakes of thought falling slower and softer and farther apart, each one settling into a landscape that absorbs it whole, everything muffling, everything blanketing down. The world of you becoming that held woolen, deeply inhabited quiet that people walk out into and can't help whispering in. It was never a void out there. It was the fullest silence of all, and you can sleep in it the way the fields sleep under snow, covered, breathing, utterly held with the hush lying over you all night, and everything beneath it perfectly alive. Have you ever wondered why we pay for views? Why the room with the wide window costs more? Why people drive hours to stand at a lookout? Why the whole species, given a free afternoon, walks uphill? There's nothing at a lookout. That's what makes the question interesting. No food, no shelter, nothing to gather, just distance laid out in every direction. And yet we climb to it and stand there and feel something unknot that we didn't know was knotted, and say things like, "I can breathe up here," as if the horizon were doing something to us. And it is. Part of it is in the eyes themselves. All day the eyes work close, the screen at arm's length, the room, the faces, everything within a few feet. And focusing near is muscular work, a small constant contraction that never lets up in a life lived indoors. But let the gaze land on real distance, hills, sea, sky at the edge of the world, and the focusing muscles have nothing to do. The eye at infinity is an eye at rest. That soft loosening you feel at a lookout begins as literal anatomy, the body's most overworked little muscles finally off duty, and it spreads inward from there, because the mind takes its cues from the gaze, always has. Eyes on the near and crowded, mind near and crowded, eyes given distance, and the mind opens out into the room it's offered, thoughts spacing themselves wider, worries resizing against the scale of the visible world. You've felt it 100 times. The problem that filled the whole kitchen becomes, at the coast, one small thing on a very large horizon. Nothing about the problem changed on the drive. You just finally saw it, with space around it. So the view was never scenery. The view is the room, the biggest there is, and our hunger for it is the same hunger this whole night has been about. The creature's plain need for space met, for once, through the front of the face. We are animals of the open. We came up in wide country, under enormous skies, with the horizon always out there holding the edges of the world for us. And some old part of us still measures its peace by how far it can see. You can't see far right now. The room is small and the light is off. But here's the thing about the inner horizon. It doesn't need the window. Lying here with your eyes closed, you can let the gaze go soft and distant anyway, focused on nothing, resting at its own infinity. And let the mind follow it out, past the walls, past the day, into the wide, dark country you've been recovering all night, gap by gap, clearing by clearing, which turns out to be its own kind of lookout. The space between your thoughts seen from here at this hour is a horizon. It goes back further than you can follow, and everything small that filled your kitchen today is out there on it now, correctly sized at last. One small thing on a very large distance, under a very large sky. Here's a gentle secret about everything. And at this hour of the night, it lands less like physics and more like a lullaby. The universe is mostly space, not the dramatic parts, the stars, the worlds, the matter. Those are the rarities, the little bright exceptions. Overwhelmingly, in every direction, at every scale, what there is room. Look up on a clear night, and it seems obvious. A few thousand points of light and the vast dark everywhere between them. But it goes deeper than the sky. It goes all the way down, into the very stuff of things, into the wood of the nightstand and the water in the glass and the hand at the end of your arm. The atoms that build all of it are themselves almost entirely empty. If you blew a single atom up to the size of a great stadium, its nucleus, nearly all its substance, would be something like a marble at the center of the field, and the rest, tier upon tier, all that enormous volume, would be space. Which means the solid world is a kind of beautiful rumor. The table is mostly nothing. The mountain is mostly nothing. You, dense and heavy and real as you feel tonight, are mostly, almost entirely, gap. Everything that exists is a thin lace of matter stretched over immensities of room, and it all holds together anyway, holds its shape, holds you right now above a mattress that is itself mostly space, above a planet that is a speck of exception in an ocean of it. And notice, none of that emptiness is a problem. This is the part worth taking personally. The universe is not anxious about its spaciousness. The dark between the stars isn't a flaw in the sky. It's what lets the stars be visible at all, each one held and shown in its share of night, the great Ma of the cosmos. The room inside the atoms isn't a structural failure, it's the structure. The very thing that gives matter its lightness and its play. Nothing anywhere is wall to wall. Nothing anywhere was ever meant to be. Emptiness isn't the enemy of things. It's their element, the medium they live in, the silent majority of reality itself, and everything you have ever loved has been made mostly of it. So when you find the same proportions inside your own mind tonight, all that quiet room with only a few drifting thoughts left in it, you can stop reading it as strange. You're not becoming vacant, you're becoming accurate. A mind that is mostly space with a few small warm lights in it isn't a mind that's failing. It's a mind that has finally come to match the truth of everything else. The sky's arithmetic, the atom's floor plan, the universe's own overwhelming preference for room. You were always going to be mostly space, inside and out. Tonight, you simply get to feel it, and to find out what the stars apparently know. That it's restful, being a small bright something held in all that dark, with nothing crowding you and nowhere you're required to shine. Let the proportions come right. A few last thoughts, far apart, like lights in a valley seen from high up, and around them, through them, under them, the great, soft majority of you. Space and space and space, exactly as the universe intended, exactly as everything is made, wide open, weightless, and quietly, completely at peace. Before we go to the kindest fact of the night, one more gift of the space deserves its moment, because you've benefited from it your whole life without ever seeing where it came from. The space is where your answers are made. You know the phenomenon, everyone does. It's almost a joke, the name you couldn't remember all afternoon, strained for, hunted, gave up on, and then, 20 minutes later, in the shower, with your mind on absolutely nothing, there it is, delivered whole, like a cat bringing you something at the door. The solution to the problem you wrestled all day arrives while you're walking with no destination. The right thing to say, the thing you needed at 2 o'clock in that difficult conversation, composes itself perfectly while you're washing a dish at 9. Insight, real insight, has a curfew of its own and terrible manners. It almost never comes when summoned, and it almost always comes in the gaps, the shower, the walk, the drive, the moment between sleeping and waking, the exact moments. Notice when the thinking has stopped. That's not a quirk. That's how the deep part of the mind works, and it's worth knowing its arrangement with you. The surface mind, the loud one, the one that's been talking all day, is a worker. It gathers, it grinds, it holds the problem up to the light and turns it. Necessary work. But the joining, the actual moment where scattered pieces click into an answer, happens below, out of sight. And this is the key clause in the contract. It happens only when the surface goes quiet. The deep mind won't shout over the loud one. It can't. Its voice is too soft. It waits. It does its assembling in the background all along, but it delivers only into silence, the way certain shy birds will only land in an empty garden. Every eureka in your life, every sudden knowing, every answer that arrived with that unmistakable feeling of being handed rather than built, came up through a gap between your thoughts. The space isn't just where you rest, it's where you're told things, which means all the quiet you've reclaimed tonight isn't only comfort, it's collaboration. Somewhere below the hush, the deep part of you has today's whole haul on the workbench, the conversations, the worries, the half-solved things, and as the surface stills, it's beginning its real work. This is why sleep so famously solves things, why the dilemma of midnight is so often strangely settled by morning. Slept on, we say, as if the sleeping did it, and it did. You'll be handed things tomorrow, small clarities, obvious in hindsight answers, and they'll seem to come from nowhere. They'll have come from tonight, from these widening gaps, from the garden going quiet enough at last for the shy birds to land. So you can stop working now in the fullest sense, not just because you deserve rest, though you do, but because your stopping is the start of the better shift. The loud mind clocks off, the deep one clocks on, the answers you couldn't force today get built in the silence you're sinking into right now. Nothing is being abandoned as you let go. It's being handed over. And now the kindest fact of the whole night, the one that turns everything we've done from a lesson into a homecoming. You are already an expert at this. The space between thoughts, the wide open mind, the self set down, you visit it every single night of your life, and you have since before you could talk. It's called sleep. Think about what actually happens when you sleep, what you're hours away from, or minutes. The thinking stops, fully. For long stretches of every night, there is no commentary in you at all. No planner, no worrier, no narrator, no one home in the way daylight means it. And you rest in that thought-free depth for hours, and it is the single most restorative thing your life contains. You who lay there tonight, believing you didn't know how to find the space between your thoughts, dive to the very bottom of that space every night of your existence and stay there till morning. You don't lack the ability. You are, quite literally, a lifelong master of it. What you lack, what everyone lacks, is only the noticing. Because the diving happens past the edge of memory, and so every morning the master wakes up convinced they've never been in the water. But you have, and some part of you knows the way so well it has never once gotten lost. Consider that seriously for a moment. Every night of your life, through every kind of chaos, your grief years, your loud years, your years of no sleep and broken sleep and too short sleep, some deep competence in you has taken the wheel at the end and steered you down, out of language, out of thought, out of self, into the great space, flawlessly, thousands upon thousands of times. It requires no belief from you, no technique, no understanding. It's older than all of those. The body knows the way to the space, the way it knows the way to heal a cut, automatically, ancestrally, with a skill no one taught you, because it came with the equipment. Which means tonight was never about learning to reach the space. It was only ever about unblocking the road, and look how much has already been carried off it. The chasing, gone soft. The fear of the quiet, answered. The crowding, respaced. The self, halfway out the door with its bags. Everything that remains happens on its own, and this is the part where you get to stop even listening in the trying way, because the expert is arriving. You can feel it, probably at the edges, the thoughts going strange and loose, logic starting to dissolve, images floating in from nowhere. That's the deep competence taking the wheel the way it always does, right on time. Your only job now is the job of every passenger at the end of a long trip. Trust the driver, watch the lights get sparse and let your eyes close. The space you were looking for all night is the space you're about to enter for hours. It was never far. It was never even optional. It's where you go every night when the searching stops, the widest room in the house of you, the one with no furniture at all. And the door is opening now, the way it has 10,000 times, and the master in you calm, ancient, and certain is already walking you through. And there's one more thing an open space does, the quietest of its gifts. It leaves room for what hasn't arrived yet. Think of what a full vessel can receive. Nothing. A packed calendar cannot accept the wonderful invitation. There's no slot. A crowded shelf can't take the new book. A full hand can't be handed anything. A mind stocked to the walls with its existing contents, its settled opinions, its finished stories, its complete plans, has no vacancy for the unexpected guest. And the unexpected guest, look back over your life, has always been where the best things came from. The person you didn't plan to meet, the idea you weren't looking for, the turn you couldn't have scheduled. Every one of them needed a gap to land in, some unallocated evening, some unclaimed corner of attention, some part of you not yet spoken for. The luckiest people you know aren't luckier. Most of them, they just live with more vacancy, more margin, more room at the inn. And so when fortune knocks, which it does on every door about equally, theirs is the house where a room happens to be free. Emptiness isn't only restful, it's hospitable. The space you keep is the shape of what you're still able to receive, and a person with no space left has, without meaning to, finished becoming. You haven't. The gaps in you tonight, the unfilled, unspoken for room you've recovered hour by hour, that's not just tonight's comfort. It's tomorrow's vacancy. Something is going to need exactly that room, some meeting, some noticing, some small unscheduled grace, and because tonight happened, it will find the door open. And notice, finally, where you are. Not in the room, in the night. Because the night itself is the greatest of all the spaces we've visited, and it's holding you this very moment. The night is the margin of the world. It's the rest between the day's notes, the white space between the printed lines of Monday and Tuesday, the of the turning earth. Everything we've said about the small gaps is true of this vast one. It's where the settling happens, where the world's meaning catches up with the world's events, where every living thing you can think of, the birds gone quiet, the fields, the tired houses, does its mending. And we treat it, don't we, the modern way, like one more emptiness to be sealed, lit up, filled in, worked through, scrolled past, the great gap corked with screens until it's just more day. But it never becomes day. It waits, patient as all the spaces are patient, for anyone willing to actually enter it, and you, tonight, are entering it properly for once. Lights off, contents down, hands empty. A person finally keeping the night as the night. This hour isn't the leftover part of your day, it's the deep interval the whole day was spaced around, the widest rest in the score, and lying here inside it, unlit and unfilled and unashamed, you're not missing anything. You're in the presence of the oldest emptiness there is, the one that has restored every creature that ever slept, and it is, in its dark and patient way, glad to have you. Come somewhere with me now, one last time, the easiest walk of all, Because tonight we're not walking anywhere on the ground, just an imagining, loose and dream vague, somewhere for the mind to rest its eyes now that the words have nearly finished their work. You're on a path in the high air. It doesn't need explaining, dreams never do. There's simply a way, soft underfoot, winding up through the night, and below you, spread out to every horizon, lies a sea of moonlit cloud, slow silver hills of it, drifting, parting, closing, the whole soft floor of the sky breathing under a thin crescent moon. And rising out of that cloud sea, here and there, far apart, are islands, floating islands, small and green and quiet, each one holding almost nothing. An old tree trailing pale blossoms, a lantern already lit, a stone or two furred with moss, a little waterfall spilling off an edge and turning to mist long before it finds the clouds below. Nobody hurries anywhere here. Nothing is joined to anything. Each island simply rests in the enormous room of the night, wide apart from its neighbors, and the space between them isn't distance the way the day means it. It's the element they float in. It's what holds them up. Drift from one to the next. The path knows the way. Rest a while on the island with the lantern, in the pool of its small gold light, with the dark, sweet air around it going on forever, in every direction. Notice how it feels to be somewhere with so few things in it. One tree, one light, one slow fall of water, and around each of them, room and room and room. This is what the inside of you looks like now, if you could see it. The day's crowded continents have all dissolved, and what's left are these few last islands of thought, small, gentle, lantern-lit, drifting far apart on the cloud sea, with the great soft space you spent all night discovering, holding every one of them easily, the way the sky holds everything, without effort, without edges, without end. And you don't need to keep even these. As you drift, island to island, you can feel them getting simpler and sparser, the tree becoming just its blossoms, the blossoms becoming just their pale drift, the lantern light loosening into the general silver of the moon. The islands are going out gently, one by one, not lost, just settling down into the cloud sea for the night, the way thoughts settle back into the quiet they came from. Soon, there's only one left, the smallest, a mossy stone, a breath of waterfall, a single lantern burning low, and it's the one you're lying on, you realize. It's this bed, this warm little island of blanket and breath, floating in the enormous kind, dark, with the moon keeping its thin, bright watch, and the space, the great, soft, full, friendly space, everywhere, holding you the way it holds everything. Let the last lantern dim now. It can. The dark here isn't empty. You know that at last. It's the fullest thing there is. And it goes on holding the world whether or not anyone's light is on. The cloud sea breathes, the moon rides its wide room, and the little island of you loosening, drifting, settling, sinks softly into the silver quiet below, where the sleeping things go, down into the space between everything, which was never between at all. It was always underneath. It was always the sea itself. And now, as the night settles in around you, let all of it go soft at the edges. You don't need to remember any of it. The wheel and the bowl, the bells, the rests, the snow, the islands, they were never meant to be held on to. They were just company, a hand on the shoulder in the dark, something gentle to walk beside until sleep was ready to come. Let them dissolve now, the way you're letting everything else dissolve. Come back one last time to where we started, the crowded mind, the wall-to-wall feeling, thought against thought, no room anywhere to breathe. Notice where it is now. The thoughts haven't been defeated, we never fought them, but the wall is gone, isn't it, or going? There are spaces in the crowd tonight, real ones, opening and closing like clearings in slow weather. And you know now what you didn't know an hour ago. They were always there. The mind was never full. The quiet was never missing. It was between everything the whole time, mortar between the bricks, rests between the notes, hush behind every bell, and all it ever needed was one unhurried night when somebody finally noticed it. There is nothing crowded here. There never truly was. There's only a mind like every mind, mostly room, and a person who forgot, the way everyone forgets, and who is remembering now, gap by gap, breath by breath, in the dark. So let's set the last of it down together. Not forever, if forever is too much, just until morning. You don't have to empty your mind tonight. It was never full. You don't have to hold the spaces open. They hold themselves. They've held themselves your whole life. You don't have to follow every bell to its end, or find the bottom of every breath, or be anything other than what you are right now. A tired, warm, breathing person, mostly space, like everything else that exists, lying still while the last few thoughts drift far apart and go out gently, like lanterns on far islands, one by one. Feel the room of you opening as they go, the weight of the body fully given to the bed, the breath slow and unmanaged, swinging down to its still bottom and resting there a little longer each time. The quiet of the house, which is not empty, which has texture and warmth, and holds you like snow holds the fields. There is only this, now the dark room, the great soft space, and you at home in it at last, because it was never somewhere you had to get to. It was what you were made of all along. If my voice has helped quiet your mind tonight, then I'm so glad you're here, and I hope you'll come back on the nights you need a softer place to land. But there's nothing to do about that now. Now there's only sleep, drawing closer, and you drifting gently toward it. So rest now, in the space between the day that's done and the morning that isn't owed yet. The widest, kindest in between there is. There is nothing left to do tonight. There is nothing left to fill. There is no one you have to be. Just breathe and let go and sleep. You're safe, you're held, you're already home. Good night.